Hello, good day. Today I would like to share about the investing for income, and the candidate that I'm looking at is I-REIT. So a quick recap, in early August, I'm looking into Singapore REIT with an intent to collect some of them for income-based investing. And in the analytic of Singapore office rate, I have identified I-REIT and Keppel Pacific OC rate. I did share that even at this point of time, that's ending Q3 2023, it may be a bit earlier because looking at the Fed watch, the interest rate will still remain high as of June of 2024. However, I think it's a good time to take some position and then to monitor the stock and see how it performs. Some macro factors. So if you look into the real house price are growing, you can see on the left hand side is the positive and on the right hand side is the negative. So for I-REIT, they have a property in Germany, France, and also Spain. So Spain is the one that is not doing that fantastic in terms of the real house price growing. Secondly, if I look into the Fed Watch 2, as of November 2024, the interest rate was still maintained above 4% as projection. Of course, I mean, there will be analysis and projection done by the market. By the end of the day, I think we still need to do our own analysis and also projection as well. So in short, macro view, high inflation, tighter lending condition, and uncertainty in macroeconomic condition. Looking into next year, I think next year is also election year for US. So in US side, I think there should be some good news that's coming in for the consumer or commoner. Therefore, for me, personally, I need to find a rate which is out of Asia to balance my portfolio as part of diversification. So I'll look into a Singapore rate, I-REIT focusing on the Western Europe. And if I look at the price trend during the time when the interest rate is low, we have been hovering about 0.7 to 0.8 80 cent. And the COVID time, we have dropped as low to below 40 cent and then maintain around 60 to 70 cent. But with the interest rate increasing, you can see a sharp fall off for all the rate. But of course, for I-REIT, there's still a period where there is an upshift in price. So today is pretty near to the previous down price. And I'm looking at here and buy in a position, just to monitor it and also see whether this support level will hold. So this is a rate that both City Development Limited have teamed up with the French investment company Tikehau, and is also invested by a single family office millionaire Alvin with more than 50% of the share. And recently they have done an acquisition of 17 retail property for approximately of 76.8 million, and they have also called for a right. So if I look into I-REIT, they have this property occupancy rate is about more than 85%, and mostly the tenant are blue chip tenant. And the recent development, you can see that they are invested in 17 retail property in France as well, and these are called retail park, and they are fully listed to B&M Group. There's 100% of a commitment of occupancy with a average lease expiry for 6.8 years. So therefore, as of today, 2023, I would safely say that in from 2023 to 2028, basically with this new investment plus the other investment that are being rented to a blue chip company, there is a potential that when the market start to revise and turn out, and the REIT sector will also be pumped up as well. So if you're interested to know about the management team of I-REIT, you can actually go into this website to look for their management team. So in summary, I have taken a position into I-REIT Global And I would also like to play part of the interview done by 89.3 with their CEO. So you can actually hear from the CEO himself on how he actually view on his position. Let's go.
Okay, Louis, iRate Global, of course, listed in the Singapore Exchange on August of 2014. How has the portfolio changed over the years
This
since
interview
then?
is done in 2021.
Yeah, so I mean, the portfolio remained pretty stable between 2014 and 2019. And since 2019, I would say we have started a new area for iREIT with City Development Limited, who came on board alongside TKO Capital. In 2020, both increased their stake, and they have now a combined stake of over 50% in the
Yeah,
vehicle, which really
50%.
creates this alignment of interest with
50%.
any of the unit holders. We have been able to develop the REITs since then. We have made an acquisition in 2020 of a Spanish portfolio of office assets. And at that time, I mean, we raised
But
total
Spain
equity
area, I think
amount
the
of
occupancy is
160
not as
million
high as
Singapore
expected.
dollars
Occupancy is
with an
not as high as
oversubscription of
expected.
over 160%.
Now, let's talk about the impact of COVID-19 on iRate Global. How did it affect iRate Global?
I think, I mean, we've been pretty stable during the pandemic so far, and our strategy has demonstrated to be efficient to navigate through this pandemic. The portfolio occupancy remains stable at almost 96%. All tenants continue to pay their rent in 2021. No request for rental rebates or deferral from the tenant in the portfolio, you see. So I think, I mean, this can be explained maybe and most probably by the quality of the assets with attractive rents, good quality building in established and well-connected location. And last but not least, real estate is a local business, so it's having people on the ground talking to your tenants every day and trying to understand what are their problems and trying to find some solution with them.
All right, so you went shopping for assets in France. Why Decathlon?
So they talk about
There
the
are several
shopping of
things here
new
that we
portfolio.
like on this opportunity. First thing is, for us, it's accomplishing a strategic acquisition of foray into France, which is obviously the third largest economy by GDP in Europe. Second thing is we consider it's an asset class that is interesting. Retail at the moment, you have some subsectors such as retail park, and that's this kind of asset that you have in this portfolio. So that's something also that we like. And we obviously like the strength of the sector. The sports goods retailers are performing extremely well. They have performed even better.
So I will pause here. So it actually talk about retail part, and the recent investment is also in retail part. So one area to is whether in France itself, the retail part will be continue to be strong in the future. I think that is one factors that be important to look out. So lastly, I mean for iRate, they have been paying dividend range above 10% from 2015 to 2022. So over a 7-year period. So as you know, compounded interest, right? If you have a 10% return, probably over 7 years, you actually get back your capital. So with whatever investment I have, if it's having a 10%, then by right in a 7-year time, I should be fully able to recover my capital, plus what is the share price that in the stock exchange selling. Okay, lastly, I mean, there's some coverage by some of the local brokerage. What I like about stock is those stocks that are not well covered, typically there is an area of opportunity. So the last coverage was by DBS Research. It was talking about whole at 45 cents. And previously, RHB earlier was talking about a neutral at 53 cents. But of course, in 2021, Philip was looking at buy at 75 cents. But during that power period is considered low interest period. Alright, that's all I have to share. So please do like and subscribe so that you can hear from me on any of my new thoughts about the stock and what stock I'm investing on. And this is the third one that I put into a middle range. All right, good night and thank you.